The trade deadline is fast approaching, and with the Dodgers' immense struggles as of late and constant injuries, they need to make some major additions, especially to the bullpen. We're going to go over the trade candidates that make way too much sense for the Dodgers to pull the trigger on. I am Tim Rogers. This is the Blue Madness Podcast Trade Line Edition. I'm sure we'll have more after this. All right, folks. We know the Dodgers have real issues. The bullpen's been a mess. Even the guys that are there struggling a bit. We just lost Tanner Scott. We don't know how long. And he's been a struggle anyway. So it makes it even, I'm going to say it, folks. I'm going to say it right now. I want three. I want 3 relief pitchers. I know that's a lot. And then there's other things that we could use. Another starter. No guarantees that these guys are going to stay healthy. There is no guarantee that these guys are going to stay good or whatever. We don't know. We got the health. We got good. Get more. So let's talk first about last year. The Dodgers had one of the best trade deadlines you could have, and it all paid off. Whether it was, getting Kevin Kiermaier, the great Ahmed Rosario, but most importantly, making the big trade a couple days before the trade deadline to get Tommy Edman and Michael Kopech. They gave up some talent, but you got to give up talent to get talent. And both of those guys came with another year, so that made a lot of sense. And then, of course, at the very last second, at 1 o'clock, after I'm sure the Dodgers went over and over trying to get Tarek Skubal from the Tigers, they got Jack Flaherty. So Jack was a key person. People were like, well, but he pitched this bad, this bad. Hey, you know what? The guy put in innings. They don't win the division without him. Do you understand that? So the Dodgers got everything they needed and a little bit more. And they needed every little bit at the end of the year. Guys are broken. So, but the focus this year has to be on relievers. Now we go, well, people are like, what about Conforto? He stinks and all that stuff. Yeah, relatively speaking, he kind of fits in with everybody right now. And he's actually been, last few weeks, he's been one of their better guys. Kind of weird to say, isn't it? Maybe they need another bench bat. You just don't know. So gather talent. The Dodgers will do everything they can, hopefully, to upgrade where they need to upgrade. And we'll, it's going to cost some guys. So the question will be, as we go through these, I want you to start thinking, what's it going to cost? Is it going to cost one of our top prospects to get a reliever? Does that sound like the Dodgers? Now, who knew that the Dodgers would have signed Tanner Scott such a big contract? Now, clearly, it hasn't gone according to script. I still have high hopes for him, but the Dodgers ain't doing that stuff again. That was like, hey, we're good on those big contracts there for relievers. So, what we're gonna do? I got a whole list. I got a whole bunch of guys. What we're going to do, I'm going to go through the list. We're going to start with this list that came out that Jeff Passan named the Dodgers as suitors for the following players. We got Stephen Kwan, left field, Sandy Alcantara, Seth Lugo, Johan Duran, Emmanuel Clase, Cade Smith, Griffin Jacks, Taj Bradley, which was kind of surprising since he's on a winning team. Edward Cabrera, Marlins, Felix Bautista, reliever. David Bednar, reliever. Pirates should have traded him 2 years ago. Pete Fairbanks, another reliever. Again, do they really want to trade him? And then Ryan Hley. Question, of course, is going to be, hey, what's the standings for these guys? where, do they have do they have a shot at being able to actually trade for some of these guys? The standings will matter. The wild card factors into this hugely. I'm gonna have a page open with the standings, wild card focused. We'll go through this real quick. So Tigers, Blue Jays, Astros, they're all in the ahead. Gee, thanks. I love the website. MLB is second worst website to MILB. In the wild card for the American League, the Yankees, Mariners, and Red Sox. Okay? With the Rays right there. The Rangers are right there. The Guardians kind of there. Even the Angels a little bit. Royals. But things start coming out, right? So all these teams have to make big decisions. I even have some people on my list that'll probably come up as we look at some of these teams. But right now, I want to focus on guys that I think maybe we got a shot at. But we're going to start with Passon's list, okay? All right? So I have them listed. And we're going to start first with the left fielder, Stephen Kwan. This guy's just a nice ball player. Let me make sure y'all can see everything in here. I mean, he has, everything is hot in terms of the overall. Now, he's not a power hitter. We know that. Got a little bit of speed. He's a really good outfielder. All right. Arm strength, arm value, range. Range is okay, but, he's a left fielder. Of course, you get him at locks in Teo and right when that's been a problem. He scores the ball up, just doesn't hit it hard. Doesn't chase. Doesn't whiff. Doesn't strike out. Walks about mid. So not a bad player. And, we'll talk about another player that would fit with him. That's Emmanuel Clase. We'll go over him in a minute. Well, we can jump to him real quick. But Kwan would have to be part, you could see the Dodgers having to give up some quality prospects to get these guys. I mean, Clase, here's my only problem with him. And it's a big one. He really sucked in the playoffs last year. And he choked. There's no getting around it. He choked. So I have my concerns. Okay? But, oh, boys, he's really good. But, consider the guy throws, a million miles an hour and everything like that. He didn't strike out as many as you'd think. Look at that. In his career, he has less strikeouts than innings pitched. Maybe that's part of the issue with him in the playoffs. He doesn't have that wipeout stuff. But, yeah, I still think you got to get him. I just think you got to go and get players like this. All right, let's go back to the passing thing. We'll go Sandy Alcantara. So, of course, he's been bad. And he had a couple good starts, and he's been bad again. But in order to make progress, sometimes you take a little bit of a risk. Now, the Dodgers, he's got like a couple, 3 years left on his contract. And it's significant, but for the Dodgers, it's nothing. What do we like to say on this channel? It's not my money. All right? It's up to the Dodgers. They charge enough for everything. What is it, $10.50 or $11 or whatever for a Coke? Come on. For 50 cents worth of stuff, including the cup. And then they have the balls to ask you for a tip? Good Lord. It just drives me nuts. So, Sandy's a possibility. He wouldn't take a ton to do, but I think there will be people willing to bet on him because the upside is super high. It's kind of like the Dodgers were kind of hoping with Walker Buehler last year, and it did show at the very end of the year when it really mattered. Walker Buehler was there. And he's been off and on this year with the Red Sox. You know about that. Okay, who else might the Dodgers care about? I've always liked this guy, Seth Lugo, with the Royals. He's got a good breaking ball. He just and I think he could also be a guy in the bullpen if needed. But he's been really good as a starter the last few years. Put up some innings, 206 innings last year. All right, that's a guy I bet the Padres wish they would have kept. He's just kind of healthy, so I like him too. You'll find that I like most of these players. But why not a guy like Seth Lugo? He won't cost that much, but I guarantee he's going to get traded. He's going to get traded. All right. I'm going to just admit it right now. This next guy, I'm going to clear off a little space here. Just to clear off so I don't have too much going on. I don't want my computer to run out of memory. But this is my guy. Johan Duran. This guy. All right. 44 innings, 50 Ks. He's got his history. He's got, 228 innings pitched, 289 strikeouts. So he's got the strikeout stuff. Look at all the red. The only thing he's short on is extension. Hard hit percentage is middle. A little bit of control here and there. But come on. Let's just do it. Get it done. It's going to cost a lot. So just do it. And hey, you know what? People going, hey, let's go get Byron Buxton, which I'm in. But I don't know if he has a no trade contract. But I think you go and I think the Dodgers will try and get some serious guys. They will not, and they're going to get somebody. It's just, and I think most likely it's going to be a reliever. But this guy right here is the guy you want. And that's the one guy that I think they might give up a top prospect for. Speaking of top prospects, why don't we take a quick diversion? So everyone's going to want the top 5. So let's, DePaula hit the home run, showed everyone that he's a good one. I believe in him. Hope's coming. Freeland, plays shortstop, third base. Jackson Ferris is really starting to come around. Eduardo Quintero has been one of the most improved players at Rancho. Mike Soroka did land on the 60-day IL. Emil Morales, power hitting shortstop. Kellen Lindsay, 60-day IL. River Ryan's out. Euandry Vargas, I don't know when he's coming back. Frasso's not the same. So it's going to be some of these guys. Some of these guys are going to have to go if we want a guy like probably this guy. All right. We looked at Emmanuel Clase. Now, teammate of Emmanuel Clase and Steve Kwan is a guy named Cade Smith. All right. 2024, really good. Look at that. 75 innings, 103 Ks, 43 innings, 64 Ks. So what do we get out of this guy? All right. A lot of us are go, hey, who's that guy? Pitching run value, a little more than average. Fastball run value is good. Breaking ball, off speed, You can see all these other things. The fastball velo gets up there to 96. Exit velocities are good. Chase rate gets good chases, whiffs, Ks, walks, Barrel, he's good on barrels. Hard hit, he's mid there. Ground ball percentage is low. So he's either striking you out or it's a fly ball. Okay. But that's, this is the type of guy we need. Not necessarily a closer, but could we use a number 3 guy in the bullpen? I think so. Twin Griffin Jacks. Dodgers have been playing the Twins during this series of recordings. But another guy. Okay, so we have here all good stuff. Pitch run value. The fastball run value is real low, but so he's not throwing total gas. Well, no, look at that 96. There's some contact it looks like, but whiff K. Barrels are barrel and hard hits a little concerning. Ground balls high, so his fly ball is different than we were looking at with Cade Smith. So this guy, he's getting the ball on the ground. So bringing him in, this is a guy you go, hey, we got first and second, we got one out. Let's bring this guy in, and hopefully, he's going to hopefully roll the double play. This is the type of guy you want. Again, not your ace in the bullpen, not your closer, not your fireman, but he is a guy that can pitch different innings and do good things. All right? It's Griffin Jacks. I like him too. I want those types of guys. So this guy, I'm just a little surprised that Passan had this guy on the list. It's Taj Bradley with the Rays. He was really good. Then he had Tommy John. I think I even had him on my fantasy team when he got Tommy John. So, but he's a starter, and he's going 5.5 innings a game. That's really good. That'd be really good for the Dodgers. His strikeouts are down this year. Let's see. His fastball velocity is 96. So I don't think they're going to get a guy like this, and unless the Rays just do weird things. And you never know with them. They could make a trade with the Dodgers, but they'd want someone back too that's going to help them. They always have an overabundance of pitchers, it seems like. Another guy that I like with the Marlins, Edward Cabrera. Why not? Why not a guy like this? Young guy, still 27. He's still, his fastball velocity is really good. Maybe it'd help to be on the Dodgers. But again, a guy, one of the things though, a guy like this coming from a small market, never pitched in any games that matter, you don't know what they're going to do. You just don't. So that's one of my concerns about a guy like Cabrera. You never know. The famous David Bednar. Pirates, you guys are so dumb. So dumb. You trade him here and you get a haul. Because look what happened last year. You missed out on a whole year of development of some young guys because they were stupid. They were stupid. And then you go, all right, well, but this year he's gotten better again. So now's the year. Is this the year the Dodgers finally get this guy? We've been rumored going after him forever. How about now? Another guy. So this guy, we got Mookie Betts hit a home run, I believe, off him in the 2020 World Series. That's Pete Fairbanks. But this guy's pretty good. Again, with the Rays, though, why would they do that? So that's where I'm a little perplexed. But this is a guy that can get guys out. Good fastball velocity, ground ball percentage. Again, get the double play. Bring in Pete Fairbanks to get double plays. And then the last one, and this is another guy that I think we've all kind of wanted, Ryan Helsley. Let's go. Now, here, what are the red lights? Well, fastball is not a red light on its own, but the fastball run value is a problem. Breaking ball is good. So he's playing that, using that fastball to bring the breaking ball. But fastball, average exit velocity is bad. So they're hitting him hard. But he's getting chases, he's getting whiffs. Ks are still decent. I mean, he's still striking out more than an inning. Walks are, I wish Tanner Scott's walks were a little higher because I think he'd have been better, believe it or not. Barrel's pretty good, hard hit. Ground balls, gets a lot of ground balls. All right? That's the guy. So that's the list from Jeff Passan. And, let's take a quick look at that one more time. I want you to put in the comments, of all these guys, who's your number one? Or make a trade. If you say, hey, I want to get Quan and Clase, what are you doing? Or if you're going to go with the Twins, okay, hey, not only do we want Duran, we want Jacks. What are you trading? What are you giving up for those guys? Let's hear it. For me, I got to get Duran. And I am dangling a top prospect. I don't know about Hope or DePaula, but it's kind of like anyone but. You can have a one top 5 and another in our top 15, and then work from there. And then you're competing with other teams too. So I really like this list. It's a nice list. But now let's go further. One of the things I did say was, hey, send in your tier list, guys. Now you notice I didn't do a tier list. I still might do one live. And that would be maybe next week. But now we're just going through dudes here now. And to be honest, I remember like last few weeks ago, DMAC calls me and goes, Chapman. I agree, Chapman. The question was, will Boston? Where are they at? Where's Boston at? Oh no, they're in the wild card. So they would have to really hit that dumper. I don't think they will. So I think Chapman stays with them. So, but that was the guy. And I don't see them moving him. So, but I wanted to add him. Okay. Just because I may draw some hate on this one, and I'm not putting it because I'm advocating. I just know that I want to talk about it because I know someone's gonna go, Nolan Aronado. We need Nolan Aronado. No, we don't. No, we don't. He's not good. He's just not what he was. Okay. Fielding run value still solid. Range is still good. Arm strength is down. But look at all the blue in the bat. He's hitting 245 with a 385 slug. Really? He's only got 10 home runs. He's done. So I want to just get that out of the way. If you still want Norman Avocado or Nolan or Arenado after looking at this chart, then you're not being you're not being real. And so it just means you're a fan. And I like it. Arenado is one of the best third basemen we've ever seen. But not anymore. It's done. He's done. He's not going to be a Dodger. All right? Another one. This is a not happening. But I just wanted to say it because maybe someday it will. And so it's Skeens. Yes, Paul Skeens. Just might as well say it. They're not going to trade him. Should they? Maybe they should. They're going to blow this one. The Pirates will blow this one. That's what they do. They don't do a good job on making sure that they're getting the best value for the talent. So Skeens, he's a pitcher. Before he's a free agent, before his control is done with the team, more than likely 33% chance he has Tommy John. With the Dodgers, you'd have to go and trade. Here's your top 10. What do you want? That's what it is. And then you go from there, and then you throw in an Andy Pajes and stuff like that. But I wanted to throw it in there, but it's just not happening. And if it does, I'll be the first to eat crow on that one for sure. Okay. All right. So now that we got some of the silliness on, well, maybe one more silly one. I don't know if it's that silly, but it's T-Dog, Tyler Anderson. He went back to being the pitcher that he was when he went to the Angels, but he got paid, and I'm really happy for him. He's 35 now, and not a lot of good here, but he does throw. he does post, and having a guy that comes in to play baseball and pitch is important. So I threw him out there. Angels are kind of still what we saw within 4. So you never know. But all right, another one. We talked about him earlier. This is also trading the farm, but he's also a guy. He gets hurt a lot. So he's already kind of getting close to his max at bats for the season. But oh, is he good? Oh, is he good? Man, fielding value is even. Look at that. His running value, his batting value. He strikes out a bit. But you look at, overall, he's an excellent all-around player. And it would be nice, but it's not happening. Now, there is a guy in the Twins that may be a little more reasonable. Let me close some windows here so I don't kill my memory. Willie Castro. Willie Castro is a guy I can play all over the place. So he would be a guy that you go, hey, he's gonna make the bench better. He would probably not be happy being a bench guy, but I think he would be a really good bench guy that would play a lot. We don't know what's going on with Kike. We don't know how bad it is. But they might need another player. He's a switchy. I like switch hitters. I like switch hitters and cannot lie. So yeah, Willie Castro, bring him on. This was a request. Brent Rooker, but he's a DH if it ever comes up. His fielding value is not even qualified. I would like him just for the bat. He can hit. Dude can hit. But he's not a fielder, so I don't think he's an option unless they go, hey, we can put him in left. I just don't think so. As I'm watching right now, Ben Kasparius is asking to come out of the game. Okay, speaking of guys that I think this is a guy, I'm going to bring him up. I think he's a guy that can help us. Right now he's a starter, but you look at these numbers and you go, oh, this guy's got reliever all over him, right? Last year at the White Sox, this is Mike Soroka. I keep saying Soroka because I get confused. I can't spell his name right. Mike Soroka. So you go, oh, look at this dude. These are some good numbers. Now, the ERA kind of blows, right? But his fastball's good. Barrels are good. Hard hit, ground balls, get some ground balls. And I think it would all improve as a bullpen guy. So I hope they go get him. That dude was going to be really good until he ripped his Achilles. I do this one just in case. I know my son's a big fan of his. And he would be really cool with Shohei because they were teammates in the WBC. Go to Lars Nootbaar. Not the most impressive numbers, but I think he needs a change of scenery. He would be a good ball player with the Dodgers. Let's just say that. So let's I think I would like to look at him. I wonder if he could play right. I wonder if he's a good enough outfielder to play right. It says left field, but arm value, I really think they got to move Teoscar. Even if they keep Conforto, I'd just switch those two. All right. And it's kind of a running joke now, but we've traded for him 2 years in a row. Why not 3? The one and only Ahmed Rosario. And was it 2023, they trade for him and leave him off the playoff roster. 2024, they DFA him after they traded for him. Oh, poor Ahmed Rosario. He's doing okay. He hits lefties. And again, the whole Kike thing, we don't know. We just don't know. Now, there's a dude, I don't know if we would be able to get him, especially because he's with the Angels. Reed Detmers. I don't know, but he's becoming a decent enough reliever, and we need relievers. So, work in progress. I don't know how much he would cost. He's still only 26. My goodness. He's still young. Good fastball velocity. Walk percentage kind of stinks. Ks and whiffs. I'm looking for Ks and whiffs, folks. We're going to need that. We're going to need that. And then, I mean, who doesn't like this guy? Just because of the name. Sir Anthony Dominguez, Orioles. So why not him? Nice year. Again, not your closer. He's not your closer. A guy like Sir Anthony Dominguez is not a closer. He's a guy that you go, oh, he's maybe our 5th or 6th best guy in the bullpen. Okay. Because you need those type of players. We need to do better because things are not looking good with our bullpen. They're just a wreck. And I think we're seeing guys just fall left and right and then not perform too. We've got both of that right now. So let's go back to this. Yep, there we go. And there's an outfielder, another Oriole, Ramon Laureano. And just another dude that can play. He's a good outfielder. Look at the fielding run value. Arm value, arm strength. We've seen that before. It's interesting how his range is down. He's 31. Bats right, throws right. Got 13 dongs. So his OPS is 861. Sounds like the 3rd best hitter on the Dodgers right there. Last but not least. Ready? This is a guy that we've talked about for years now. Luis Robert Jr. having an awful year. Very talented. Comes with money that's got to come up. But look at this stuff. Squared up, chase percentage, whiff percentage, K percentage. He's just not good. Can field. He's also a guy that gets hurt. I mean, if you look at, 2023 was really good. That's a really good baseball player there. 2024, trash-ish. This year, even worse. So what are we going to do? Why would we want a guy like that? I prefer, if we get him for a song, whatever, right? But that's a list of dudes, a list of really, a mishmash of players. But let's talk a little bit about this. So I'm going to go, we'll go back to the prospects for a bit, just because I want you all to think about it. I'll throw some names out there. Maybe we could say, hey, what would it take? So let's go here. Josue DePaula, Zaire Hope. Those guys are going to take. It's going to take a huge package to get those guys. And it won't be for a guy that, is going to be a free agent. It won't be that. So you're not going to get a Jack Flaherty type for a DePaula. That's for sure. You're not going to get, they're not going to get DePaula for Alcantara. It would take like maybe a Quan and a Class A. And even then I'm going, I don't know about that. I mean, on this list I'm looking at, I don't have anybody other than Skeens. Maybe Buxton. Yeah, Buxton and Skeens. That's it for those top guys. Freeland, maybe. Jackson Ferris, I don't know. We might need him. I really don't want to be giving up major league pitching, or even minor league guys that can pitch in the majors. Landon Knack, Justin Robleski. I'm not trading those guys unless I'm really getting some pitching back. Because I've seen some trade proposals like, oh, the Dodgers get one reliever but then trade two. That doesn't make sense. Or trade, that doesn't make any sense. We need numbers too. We need names. We need numbers. So it can't be just some guy, hey, we got to keep some of our guys. Major league talent, really, we shouldn't be trading too much of that. unless we're getting something good back. And there's some guys on this list that I guarantee they may not be on the top 10 or the top 5 of this list, but in the Dodgers' heads, Sing Ko, that guy, he's high. Dodgers love him. Eric Swan's moving up. Or they could just try to sell high. Look at Christian. Man, Christian's number 18 now. Hopefully Maddox, Jaron Elkins has like 500 stolen bases with Rancho. Peter Hubick's improving. Jared Karros is out for the season. Copen's been amazing. Coming back. Jacob Wright's, they got some guys down here that are very, these 27 through 29 are keep an eye on. They're wanted. They are wanted. So that's for sure. Let's see. So that's whoever it's going to take. Cost is bad. That's why the Dodgers tried to take care of business this year. And it didn't work out. They tried to say, hey, we're going to sign all these dudes so we don't have to go and pay all this stupid price for these players. So, but now it's going to cost them. Now you got to think, okay, what about guys returning after the season? Okay. Tyler Glasnow's been looking good. Is he someone, I just think they have to be very careful with him. We got Blake Snell coming back real soon. Ohtani's gaining innings. Hopefully Tanner Scott's back. Trinan should be back soon. Still want to be careful with him. Need him for October. Got to get to October now. Maybe Brewstar. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Kyle Hurt. I don't know. The Dodgers injured list is there's guys on there we forgot about. Emmett Sheehan's been good. Yeah, his last start was poo, but he's been good. So they're building their pitching staff back up, but I still think they need more relievers. Now, when it gets to the playoffs, if we go in and our playoff rotation is Yamamoto and Ohtani, Snell, and Glasnow, that means we can put, Kirsch can do some innings out of the bullpen. Emmett Sheehan becomes a bullpen guy. Dustin May. And maybe Dustin May should just become a bullpen guy anyway. So that's what I think. Then there's other guys. These are the play them or trade them. And Ryan Ward is at the top of that list. That guy has got almost 30 home runs. He's got batting over 300. He's done everything he can. He feels like it's his 100th year of AAA. He's like 35 years old or something like that. Play him or trade him. You have to play him or trade him. You can't keep doing this to these guys. It's not fair. It's absolutely not fair. So Ryan Ward needs to be traded or be brought up now. So that's for sure. So kind of overall, all right, predictions. Let's just say a couple things. My top targets, of course, are Duran, and I got Class A and Hley as three of the top guys. I would like to get another starter just to be safe. It doesn't have to be a stud, just a guy that can go some innings. And a guy like a Willie Castro would be great. If they really do want to make a blockbuster and get a guy like, what's his name? Byron Buxton, fine. Just be careful. Be careful with those. So some of the things I'm predicting, all right. One of the things I'm going to say, and I've talked about this before, don't be surprised if they make a move for a guy that can be a backup catcher, a vet. Just saying. However, I love what Dalton Rushing's been doing. The Dodgers are working with him. He's getting better and better and better. He's giving Will Smith time off. I bet, every 3 games, he's playing one of them. It's helping Will Smith. So that's what we want. We want Will Smith to stay healthy. But I think they got to get one, must get one of Class A Duran or Hley. Gosh, I keep saying it wrong because it looks like an I to me. Hley. They need one of those guys, mid guys like the Griffin Jacks or Cade Smith to be 6th or 7th inning guy to come in, get the double play. But we got to get 2 to 3 relievers. We have to. We just have to. So that's where we're at right now. We're recording this on Tuesday, July 22nd. Things will change, and we'll talk about it as we move forward. We get closer to the deadline. I will be covering that day all day. I'll be, staying home for that day, working through it, and keeping everything up to date, and going live when we need to, or maybe I'll go on someone's show. I don't know. Last year was on Clint's show. That was fun. So we'll see. We will see what we end up doing. So thanks everyone. I appreciate y'all for watching. Trade deadline is Christmas in July. Trade deadline is 3 p.m., right? 3 p.m. on July 31st. Be ready. That's Thursday. That is a little over a week away. So be excited. Dodgers will make moves. The question is, what team is going to strike first? What team is going to go and make a surprise move? Like the Padres last year were super aggressive. They got Tanner Scott early. They got they had made a trade earlier for Arias, so they were super aggressive last year. So I expect them to be aggressive again. We'll see what they have to offer. They're kind of running lower on prospects, but they always find a way. So they're a little pests. Been tough. They're tough to deal with. That's for sure. So let's see what happens. Let's see who strikes first. All right. Hopefully it's the Dodgers. Get me 3 relievers. And let's go win the 2025 World Series. All right. Thank you very much for watching. As always, God bless. Oops, I forgot my rosary. God bless and go Dodgers.